Well, welcome back to Fireside Chat number 11. I've got several announcements for you this evening, but the first announcement I want to make is that this is the last of the Fireside Chats. The information that you're going to be needing going forward will be available to you in another venue, which brings me to my second announcement. And that is that it is now official that we will reopen this coming Sunday morning for public worship services here at Grace Evan. Guys, I'm pleased as punch about that, but let me do some things that I wouldn't dream of doing under other circumstances. I want to remind you that coming to church on Sunday morning will require a risk. How big of a risk? I cannot say. There are so many unknowns, as you know, and articles written and flying around saying different things. But we are going to take every precaution we can think of to protect you. But we cannot eliminate every risk involved. Consequently, we want to, a preacher should never say this. We want to discourage you from coming. At least if you're in the high-risk group, or you've had respiratory issues, or you're taking care of someone who has respiratory issues, or you're somewhat around the virus in certain ways, we would suggest that if you are in any risk category, that you might want to consider staying home. The services will still be streamed to you. They'll still be available to you. But for now, you might want to consider staying at home. Now, as for some of the precautions, here's probably the major one. There will be two services Sunday morning, but the first one will start at 9:15, not 9:25. And the reason that we've moved it up the clock is because we're trying to give ourselves some extra time to get one group out and the other group in so that there will not be crowded hallways. It will also give us time to wipe things down. We'll have a few more minutes to wipe things clean. Those are just some of the precautions. And so the first service, if you intend to come, will begin at 9:15. How long we'll do that, I can't say at this moment, but for now, we're going to have a 9:15 service and an 11 a.m. service. All of those precautions that you have heard about, for instance, there will... The entrance to the building, there will be none in the back. There will all be in the front of the building. The doors will be propped open so that you don't have to touch them. There will be no offering plates passed. There will be offering boxes in the back of the room that you can utilize. We'll certainly not be asking you to pick up a hymn book or anything else. We hopefully, once you get into the sanctuary, you will notice that it is marked off to provide for adequate spacing among us. So everything that we can think of, we've either done or are doing. And we can't wait to see you this coming Sunday. I would say, go get a haircut. Everybody needs a haircut. So get a haircut and prepare to be with us this coming Sunday morning. Now, one other quick thing, and I'm done for the evening. You remember last week at the Fireside Chat, I introduced you to Job, and I focused you on the hedge that Satan said to God, you built a hedge around him, and that's why he serves you. And so God allowed some of that hedge to be removed. And I asked you to focus on how much of the hedge that still remained up among us. Well, there's one other thing that I want to focus on in terms of the story of Job, and it's found in the 2nd chapter when Job's wife comes to him and says, "Why don't you just curse God and die?" And his response was this, guys. He said, "Shall we take good from God and not receive evil?" Not evil in terms of morally, but hard things. Brother and sister, is it not so that for decades we have been the recipients of God's greatest kindnesses? Is that the only reason that we love Him? Is because He's given us good? Will we take the good and refuse the bad? Job didn't, and I don't think we will either. But I wanted to remind you of that as we continue to navigate this very odd time. All of that said, can't wait to see you. And I'm a fairly emotional guy. I hope that doesn't come as a surprise. And I can tell you, for me, it's going to be a very emotional morning. Can't wait to be a part of it with you.